Okay, I just want to put out a few things before I actually start commentating on this video. One, quality assurance. I do not use save states, load states, or cheats, or slowdown. That's a new thing that someone else brought to mind. Um, on my extra mode run, the normal one without the commentary, someone accused me of using slowdown on the video. I do not use slowdown. My emulator, however, will lag sometimes, depending on how many programs I have up. That's the only thing that happens that can possibly alter the gameplay. However, the only way I can reverse this is by using frame skip. Frame skip will effectively make the game impossible because you're not seeing where your actual ship is for a good frame or 2 or 9. So, that's what I wanted to get out of the way beforehand, so skip the introduction. Let's get finally to the footage. I just wanted to put that whole issue to rest. So here we are with the Death Label course. Second time around. What this is an updated run where I actually managed to post a score of 1 billion plus. Not plus by much, but plus by some. So there's not really much to say in addition to what I've already said about the Death Label course on my first video. So in all honesty, I'm just reviewing the footage to make sure everything is on the up and up. What I did improve on this run was, in general, deaths. The run I had posted on my YouTube account prior to this one, I died virtually all of my chances that I could. I had no lives left, I had no bombs left, and in this run I tried to solve that as best as possible. Up until the point where I was able to no-miss everything up to Cinderella Amber, and even still only had 4 misses throughout the entire course. I have done a run where I managed to no-miss everything up to Evac and Ear, but my emulator kind of died, so I lost the run, and the score wasn't optimal either. I made a lot of mistakes with my scoring. Another thing I updated, you're seeing right now with Bullfrog, you notice that when I was attacking, I attacked the right wing from my perspective, and then I started to attack the front of the ship. You'll notice that there are a bunch of green ships. The rockets that it sends out of that part of the wing next to the right wing that I destroyed the first time actually give you chips, typically 5s. That's the one thing I improved on the Bullfrog run. Then with Sphinx, I decided to do a victory lap, just for the hell of it, because you have a bit of time, unlike in the arcade version where it starts off right away. Then I actually updated the battle with Sphinx. What I did was I actually locked on one of my options by pure chance onto the center bit and put a bit of damage onto it. You're going to see that really somewhat help later on. You're noticing also that I'm bombing through several of the patterns that are pretty easy to dodge. What that's all about, it's basically chip harvesting. I'm getting some multiplier chips so I can increase my score. That's probably the biggest mistake during the Sphinx battle. I actually I get caught in the crossfire of the third missile attack, which is pretty much instant death if you're caught in the wrong area, so I had to bomb through that. I also solved this pattern. I wound up taking it easy and egging the bullets on, except for when I got stuck. This attack auto-bombs me. Probably well, it almost broke me. I managed to get up through the screen, to the top of the screen, and dodge around it. Then I managed to no-miss Sphinx, which is quite the achievement for me, believe it or not. I hate Sphinx. Then there's Jamidhar. Jamidhar I missed quite a few times on my original run. I got it down to a no-miss run here, so you're going to get to see me go through this without dying once. I auto-bomb at the very end, but it's manageable because you're going to see me sort of salvage what was left of the run. Second attack is simple. Third attack, same thing as the first one, only it's a bit easier to dodge because there's only 1 line instead of 3. I got lucky there. If I hadn't have taken all the parts out by that time, I probably would have died or auto-bombed or worse. This attack, I managed to get the second form down much easier. This attack still annoys me since it forces you to drop your lock shot and go over to your normal shot, which does very little damage, gives you almost no points, and only gives you 1 chips. One thing I noticed with this form, I want to lock onto the Jamidhar core. Often those 2 gray wings are in the way, so you're winding up locking onto that. So if I broke my lock during that, that's going to explain why. Here's where I auto-bomb. You're going to see it really play out for me. Now watch all this. All those chips turn into 5s. That really helps out because you get score when you destroy the boss and after when it completely blows up and you move to the next level. Okay, Trafalgar. Trafalgar, nothing really changed here. I got a little bit desperate for chip harvesting, so that's the only change, really. Good cancel out there with that cannon. Nice. I actually destroyed both of the main cannons prior to that. And this attack, I bombed through it once, and then I bombed through it again. Probably a risky move, but I think it paid off in the long run because, as you can see at this point, I'm running around 8,500 in chips, which is pretty helpful. Not chips, multiplier. And those really stack up. Now I'm at, I believe, yep, I almost made it to 9,000, which even for a sub-boss is pretty valuable in terms of points. Okay, Cinderella Amber. This is the only course where I actually miss up until the final boss and true final boss of the game. The thing is, I made it all the way to the very end and tripped up right at the finish line, to quote Hercules. I tripped right at the finish line when I was so close. I take it too slow, I slow play it a bit too much, and that winds up killing me. It could have been worse, could have been better of course, but it was almost unavoidable, so I had to take a risk. This one I try to move up to get out of the way, but I can't because they just keep coming. Let me get this attack. And do I bomb through this? No, I do not. Ooh, I remember doing this during the run. It was really tricky. And once again, as I mentioned in the first run of this, those armor plates on its back act as shields. Then we get to its second form. I improved this to a no miss, no bomb, which was pretty surprising, considering as this used to be my worst favorite boss. Now it's actually manageable. The fuse ball attack, I don't know what it's really called. I just call it a fuse ball off of the game, the arcade game Tempest. A little electric ball that just flew around and blew you up instantly. Because that's what it used to do to me. I literally could not avoid that attack back when I was younger and played the game. Not this game, Tempest. Tempest, of course, excuse me. Anyway, I auto-bomb here. And that eventually cripples me for the last form, because I don't have any bombs to protect myself, or an auto-bomb just in case I screw up. So it's going to really put a dent in my multiplier. That's what killed me. The pink bullets that it's launching right now, it'll start to launch 5 of them. And that forces you to slow down. It punishes you for going too fast, and that's where I made my mistake. I was punished for going too fast, but I went too slow. And then I just unload my bombs to get my chip multiplier back, and get all the 5s. 5s are good. Of course, you think that. You need 5s. For Black Draft, I actually started off at the bottom of the screen and hit my lock shot right away so I could get the most 5 chips out of it. It's not much, but it is quite a bit. The main cannon that I eventually do, I take it slow. I like to start off from the left side of the screen, but I take it slow and move to the right. Then we have this attack, which took me a while to actually know this. You're going to see, oh boy. All 3 of my bombs just lost there. I actually make a really good recovery in this form. I managed to go through the whole thing, no miss. I make a really gutsy move. I take a gamble. You just saw it. All those were pretty tight together, and I tried to march right through it. I set myself up for it. That's probably my best move during this part of the run. What was it? Yeah, it was during this one. So, yeah, Black Draft, I upgraded it to a no miss. I auto-bombed, sure, and lost a chunk of my multiplier, but it still stands as no miss. Vinogradov, once again, my personal favorite stage in the game. Honestly, I gave up a long time ago trying to conserve my multiplier here. It really just doesn't have much of a purpose because there are so many of the popcorn ships, the ones that spawn multiple bullets when you destroy them. There's so many of those popping up to destroy your multiplier. And then there's the ships that have 2 multiplier reducing parts. It really just blows your multiplier away far too fast for you to recover it again, so I gave up trying to conserve it. The actual Vinogradov ship, I managed to no miss it as an upgrade to the previous run. The main cannons, I managed to get them out of the way faster, so I didn't auto-bomb on them. And I actually wind up destroying everything. Well, I take that back. I destroyed the central tower before I destroyed the actual back of deck. Usually this is not how it works. However, I was saved, and I did get the 1-up, because how you get the 1-up, the Vinogradov 1-up, how it works is you actually have to destroy everything but the central tower that I'm taking on right now. If you do that, you get a 1-up. If you don't, then, well, the ship just blows up and everything's done. Evac. I managed to upgrade it to a 1-miss, even though it was kind of, I guess you could say substandard, because I made quite a few mistakes that you're going to see pretty evident. And all I really do here is just improve how I perform on the run compared to the last one, which is, that's probably what cripples me. An autobomb there. I'm not going to lie, regarding not just your multiplier, I got lucky there. Regarding not just your multiplier, but your score, autobombs hurt. They take away 25% of your multiplier, as does def. Def and autobomb triggers will automatically take away 1/4 of your multiplier. Destroying an enemy will take away, I'm guessing, somewhere around an 1/8. I could be wrong, my math is not the best. I'm not the best in math when it comes to the subject, but that's what I'm guessing. First form I got really sloppy with. I will say that much. Really sloppy. I don't like the opening attack. This one, the one with the fuse balls that knock down the roof on you, that I can handle. I actually like that attack. It's one of my personal favorites in the game. That I can handle. The attack with the missile arms occasionally trips me up. I managed to get lucky here. I think I might bomb out of it once. Once or not at all. Let's find out. Yep, I do not bomb through that attack. I bomb through the first form once again because the pink bullets, when they're close together, you can't go through them. You'll be massacred instantly. Alright, third form. Like I said in the previous run, he'll just non-stop throw the scaffold attacks at you that don't do much. You can easily wind your way around them. Bomb through them if you want to get some chips back, like I do in just a moment. Or just a delayed moment, thank you very much. There we go. That should push me, yep, pushes me over 6,000. I take down Evac, get up to 66, 67 almost, and Evac Doom. Probably the best part of the improvements, I managed to go through Evac Doom with only 2 misses, compared to the probable 4 I think I had. I think it was 4 or 5 on my previous run. Regardless, I do a hell of a lot better on Doom compared to my previous runs. I still love that attack where he does the full-on balls-to-the-walls radial missile attack. I still love that because it looks beautiful. That part, Doom's first form used to give me a lot of trouble in the Death Label course, but I really got it down to almost a science, you could say, after going through extra mode and realizing that it wasn't too hard. Not extra mode. Extra mode is hard as hell. This is a lot easier compared to that, although the only thing I noticed, he fires 4 bullets from the triple mount options instead of 3. That's the only thing that makes this interesting. If they upped it to 4 from those and 10 from the, oh boy, autobomb, 10 from the other ships, I'm actually happy with that autobomb because it allowed me to take down his first form almost immediately afterwards. Then we have his final form, the fast-moving waves. I really got this part down to his science. It's when he throws the blue ones at me that I am forced to bomb, or in this case, die. So, I don't have many complaints on this version of Evac Doom. I die one more time because I run out of bombs. Because when it puts you to the side there, it's not worth risking dodging through it, in my opinion. I'd rather just bomb through it because A, it gives you some multiplier chips, and B, you don't have to risk auto-bombing and lose more of your chips and multiplier. So that's eventually what I resort to. Kind of a dry throat moment here, so I'm talking a bit. I don't want to come across as me rambling, but honestly, with the pace that it's going at, I really don't want to cut this up into segments because that'd be really annoying and long and tedious, not to mention. So what I do here, I just go as it goes. I kind of bomb spam there because I know I'm going to kill it, so I get some multiplier chips before I go. I wanted them to be 3s or 4s or 5s, but I got 3s instead. And the moment I actually got the billion-plus score, well, the upgraded billion-plus score, I literally shouted as loud as I could. I dropped the major F-bomb. Hey, Biden can do it. So who gives a damn at the end of the day? I was really happy with the run. I would upgrade it again. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. The ending. The Type B ending. I did not explain this. The Type B ending focuses on pilot Steel Uric. His one request is to save his home country, because he grew up in poverty, and the land itself was pretty much owned by war. So his one request was to save that country from all war and basically make it a land of peace and come back as the hero. The apparently dead hero, once again. The ending for Alice and Yuma does not change. That remains the same. As I said earlier, Alice is a spy in Evac Industries. He recovers the prototype schemes for the Tiger Sword and the Armor Hunter. Tiger Schwert and Panzerjäger for your diehards. He recovers the schematics, takes them back, and that's how they launch the assault, and that's how everything is solved. Alice ditched his brother at a young age, not willingly, but to enlist, and Yuma was disappointed with this. He enlisted as well, so he could outclass his brother. They met during the mission. Alice's one request was to save his brother, and yada yada yada. That's it. Essentially, that's the upgraded run. Because I talked about it a lot during the first run, there's not much I can say now, except for, well, it was a hell of a lot better in terms of scoring. So, once again, there's not really much to say. So I'm thinking of just cutting the commentary now. I think I might. I'm doing this real time. What I'm doing is watching the video and commenting on it as I can see what's going on. There really isn't much to say besides that. And now we're getting the credit roll. So, tell you what. I think I'm going to cut the commentary before the video ends. I've got about maybe a 3/4 of a minute to a minute left, so I'm going to actually kill the commentary now, so you don't have to worry about it. So, there's my run of the Death Label course, updated to 1,053,000,000. I'm trying to get my... Oh, my replay score is right in front of me. I'm watching the video heading. 1,053,402,615. That's the final score, and I turned out ending the commentary right before the video ends, so... Well, that's all I really have to say. There's not much left to comment on, seeing as I did this on the earlier run. So, McKendrick out. I'll see you next time around.